Me to do some additional training so we know how to do basically a task, assign a task, how to look at our calendar or task list, and also just I want to show you how to make notes because Brittany, I know you had some questions about that and they weren't saving. So let's go ahead and look at how to make a task. So I've already typed Stubenboard in here to just look up because I know I made a file for myself or a contact for myself. And let's say this patient, Paul, is a patient. He came in today for a consultation, but he needed to go home and check with his wife. And we said, that's completely understandable. Do you mind if I call you back, say next Wednesday, just to see if you're ready to move forward? So how would you do that? You're typically going to use either the call or the to-do. Either pretty much bring up the same menu. Let's pick call. And this is going to bring up a calendar. And you can pick next Wednesday, which is going to be August the 6th. I'm sorry. Yep, August the 6th. And let's just say you want to call them at 2 o'clock p.m. So you just go down 2 p.m. Now the duration, you can leave it 10, you can leave it 5. 10 is a good safe number just in case you need to make some follow-up notes. Now details is really important. You need to know why you're calling them. And again, needed to talk to wife. Follow-up callback. You can also set reoccurring callbacks if you need to. Let's say you need to call a patient every month. That's where you would set that for yourself. Okay, so you can see it showed up down here under my activities. I'm also going to make a note by clicking the Note tab and just say patient was very interested. But needed to talk to wife. I asked if it was okay to call in a week for follow-up. Now, one interesting thing I want to talk to you about is scheduling tasks for other people. I'm just going to go down here to edit. When I schedule that task, I could actually schedule it for somebody else. I'm logged into Robert's account right now, but if I wanted to schedule it for Brittany, for example, I can actually schedule it for her, and instead of it showing up on Robert's calendar, or i.e. my calendar, it'll show up on Brittany's calendar. She'll go in, she'll read the notes, what's going on, what does she need to do, and she'll take care of it. But for now, we're just going to leave it set on Robert calling back the patient. I can also change the importance of the task. I can also change the importance of the task by color coding it. So medium's going to be blue, red's going to be obviously high. I don't actually use the priority setting unless it's really important, because otherwise, if you make too many things a priority, nothing's a priority. So I'm just going to put it on medium just so you can see how it works. Also on alarm, if you have ACT open and you do set an alarm for, let's say, 5 minutes before 2 o'clock on this date, it'll pop up on your screen, saying, basically call that person. You can see it's changed from black to blue because I changed the priority setting. Now, what I do in ACT, every day I come in, the first thing I do is I go to my task list. Actually, the first thing I do is go to my calendar. And when I open my calendar, it looks like this. I never use this view unless it's really busy. I go to the monthly view and I can see, boom, there I am right there. That's the task I just scheduled. Now I can go over here to task list and there's also my task. Either way, if you clear your task from calendar view or task list view, it doesn't matter. But what you're going to do is go to this view. Okay, you have all these tasks to do today. Got it. And let's just pretend today's August the 6th. And it's going to pop up on my August the 6th calendar. I can click it. And it'll take me back to the patient's profile. But I want to go back to task list because this is where I'm going to work out of. Okay, I'm ready to call this patient back. I called them. I went into their account. I looked at the notes, which was pretty easy to do. I went to notes. And patient was very interested, needed to call wife. I asked if it was okay to call over the weekend. Sorry about the typo there. And for instance, Brittany, when you're doing callbacks and you read notes that Rebecca may have put in, that's why it's really important that you read that. So I know what I'm going to say during the call. Hey, Paul, how did everything go? You ready to move forward with LASIK? Whatever you're going to say, great. But you will come back to this screen just to review the notes. Again, this is a little off, but you can click on it and it will expand for you. There you go. So let's go back to task view. And as soon as I click the task, it'll bring up a clear activity. So essentially, what happened during the call. Sorry. What happened to the call? You're going to call on, this would be the date. Obviously, you would call back on the actual date that you scheduled it for. And you're just calling back about follow-up. You're going to clear the result once we're done. And essentially called in patient scheduled for surgery. You can add attachments, you can schedule another follow-up, you can make it private so nobody else sees it except for you. Anyways, you're going to click it and it'll clear the activity. Now let's go back to Paul's account. Here it is, activity, and you can see, history. You can see here was an activity that took place, and you can see exactly what happened during the call. Activities would only be currently scheduled calls or to-dos. Again, call and to-do and meeting are pretty much all the same thing. Notes, any notes are going to be in here in the notes section, and again, you just scroll over. That's not doing it on my computer, but you just scroll over. I'm on a small laptop to see the notes, or you can simply click on the notes to read them. Let's see, and that's the original notes, and again, history is going to be what happened during the callback. Call patient and schedule for surgery. So that's it for today. That's how you schedule a to-do. That's how you schedule a meeting. That's how you enter notes, and that's how you check your schedule or your calendar and task list. So I'm just going to send this recording off to YouTube, and y'all can view it at your pleasure or leisure, and I'll talk to you soon.